Hi, I'm an old guy and I do maths, and our problem today is to discover the domain of this function. Y is equal to log in base e of this. And this problem was referred to me by someone who was a bit puzzled by it. But the way into it is to start with one of the basic rules of logarithms, which is that whatever we have here must be greater than 0. So, with that knowledge, where do you go? Well, the first thing that I would do is I would discover what makes this equal 0. So I shall do that. And the answer, with a bit of factorizing, comes pretty easily. Okay, so I hope you can see all that. What I've done is I've just factorized this quadratic. It's a quadratic, that's all you do. And so that tells us now what makes this thing equal 0. That is of some use, but limited use. And I think rather than go into a long-winded explanation of why the answer, which is not this, by the way, is what it is, I'm going to draw this thing. And if I do so, I get a quadratic with two x-intercepts, one at -1 and one at 3. And this quadratic, as demonstrated by this parabola, is greater than 0 here and here, but between here and here it is less than 0, which means that between these 2 points here, this thing can't exist. So how do we address this? Well, at 3 on the x-axis, this is equal to 0. Therefore, we simply want x to be greater than 3 to form part of a viable domain for this. That's the critical point there. Now, the interesting thing is, and some people will overlook this, there's a second critical point, which is this. X must be less than -1, because when x is less than -1, this function here is greater than 0, and that's all we need to make this function here, this total function here, happen. So our answer is not x equals 3 or x equals -1, but that x is greater than 3 or x is less than -1. And you can put a ring around that. You can state it in other ways. You can state it in set notation. You can say that x is a real number that is greater than 3 all the way to infinity, and less than 1 all the way to -infinity. But this is stating it simply: x must be greater than 3, x must be less than -1. And that is how this is solved. It's simpler than it looks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.